being here. My name is Adam Roberts. I'm the chair of the commission, and I'm officially calling the meeting to order. With now 6 commissioners present, all commissioners except for Commissioner Lee, I believe we do have a quorum. So with that, I have two changes to the agenda I've just been made aware of that were pretty minor. Item number 12 and item number 13, the S&Ds, there's a typo on there. For item number 12, the single member district is not 5D02, it's 5D06. And item number 13, the S&D is not 9, it's 5D02. So again, for item number 12 and 13, the S&Ds there are 5D06 and 5D02 respectively. The only other change from the agenda that was originally published is item number 14. I removed that from this agenda. That was my item because I'm waiting on some additional information from the DPW. With that, are there any other changes or corrections to the agenda? Commissioner Shropshire.
I'd like to move to add a presentation to the agenda. Mr. Omar Salim would like to present on Starburst Plaza.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Discussion, yes. The Starburst Plaza is located in ANC 5D05, and Mr. Salim is aware of that. He should not be making any presentations without informing me as a single member district first, so that I would have the opportunity to address that with my constituents. And this is an ongoing issue, Mr. Salim, with your disrespect of the process and my citizens, and it will not be tolerated.
Any other comments or discussion? All for the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed.
I did not vote, so I count that was, did you vote, Commissioner?
Yes.
What did you vote?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so I heard 4 yeses and 2 noes, so that item will be added, that motion passes, that item will be added as right after number 10, so that we do the presentation right after reading that piece. Are there any other additions or changes to the agenda?
I have an addition. I'd like to add a resolution that the library trustees provide a briefing, that this commission support, that the library trustees provide a briefing to all commissioners throughout the city regarding the proposed renovation plan for the MLK Library, which is the central library serving the entire city.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
Do we, have a copy of the resolution?
The resolution is simply one statement that we support a public meeting for every commission in the city, a briefing by the library trustees. Very simple.
Any further?
Why is the resolution needed?
Because obviously it hasn't been done.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, all for the motion to be added, for that item to be added to the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, if you're for the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2. If you're against the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. That motion fails 3-2. Are there any other changes or additions to the agenda? Seeing none, I move that we adopt the agenda with the changes that we've made. Again, the only changes we've made up to this point are the minor corrections, number 12 and number 13, because the S&D, and we've added a presentation from Omar Salim right after the Ivy City presentation. So I'm going to move to the floor to adopt the amended agenda.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All for, please say aye.
Aye.
All against?
Opposed?
I count 5 yeses and 2 noes. Are there any abstentions? All right, that motion passes 5-0. Super. Thank you all for bearing with us as we adjusted our agenda. So with that, we're going to move into my report to quickly walk you through the next item in your packet. Just to quickly share the chairperson's report. My time. The commission has sent a total of 3 items since the report was last given last month. The reimbursement, the past Reimbursement policy and grant policy have been posted to our website. We've also posted all approved minutes and a letter of support for zoning commission case 1527. That letter is due to the zoning commission on October 13th for a hearing on October 20th. That was sent a couple of days ago, this last month. The commission's also received a number of notices. I bolded, as always, the ones that are relevant to the A and C. And so you can see there, any of those that are, looks like all of those are in 5D01. We've received notices of those, and those should have also gone to the S&P commissioner directly from the agency. It's not on your paper, but I neglected to add it, because these came in the last couple of days. I believe also in 5D01, Commissioner Lewis, there's an HPRB review for Union Market, so I wanted to make sure that the commission was aware of that. Lastly, just sort of the category of other, in our meeting last month, there were some concerns raised about the noticing of these meetings and how that works. Everyone has in their packet my question and the response back from the Office of ANCs, who also happens to be here tonight, with just a conclusive understanding of whether or not our meetings are being properly noticed. And according to the Executive Director of the Office of ANCs, John Dave Simon, it sounds like so long as the information that I provided was accurate, that we are properly noticing our meetings. With that, upcoming events, August 23rd will be our next planning committee of the whole meeting. Our meeting for August was canceled because the only person that responded was unable to attend, so I would ask that you RSVP by the 21st if we are in need to have a meeting. Our report to the Office of the DC Auditor is due August 29th, and we already passed that, I believe, for our last meeting. Deadline for agenda item submissions, commissioners, September 5th, which is 8 days before our meeting. Please get me those items so they make it onto the agenda so the public can see everything that we're voting on. And that is all ahead of our September 13th meeting. The very last item is our ongoing sort of survey results with feedback in the back. And for the couple of folks that are here, in the very back we have those little half sheets. As you can see, we do review those, we tally those up, and that's how the commission gauges its effectiveness, and we certainly do review those at our committee of the whole meeting. So if you did not get a chance to pick one out, please do. We really appreciate your feedback. With that, I'll just quickly make any time for any quick questions for the commission.
Question.
Commissioner Henderson.
Capital City Partners sent you their submission on April 26th in an email. I have a copy of that email they sent to you, yet you claimed at the July meeting you've never seen the submission, you're not able to vote on any approvals because you're not aware of the community benefits agreement, and that simply isn't true. And two, and I want to hear your response to that, why you failed to address those issues. And two, your own submission regarding the agenda indicates that you did not send any of the documents, the agenda or anything else, to K Henderson 029 at AOL as I indicated to you, because I don't have access to the ANC account. So I need you to explain why you continue to fail to inform me in the preferred manner that I've provided for you.
Sure. So to address your first question. So to address your first question about the Capital City item, I believe we heard from all commissioners that they had not received those items. My particular statement that I shared in the last meeting was the only information I've seen about public benefits were not of a very specific nature.
You said you didn't receive it. I've been looking at the tape.
May I have the floor so I can respond to your question? So what information I have received up to that point was not specific enough for me to vote on it. I am one of 7 votes. If commissioners want to vote, I'm certainly not going to hold up that process, but that's not my right and that's not my role. So that's how I voted. I chose to not respond to that item, and that information remains the same. I still haven't gotten those specifics.
We
To
don't
your
use that
second
voting.
question about proper notice, this, again, all commissioners have received notice. It happens to be that Mr. Simon is here tonight, and we've been given quite clear guidance from Mr. Simon's office that official business is only be transacted over our official ANC accounts. That's where I've always sent that information.
It's not the law.
Actually, I'm gonna follow the process
It's
that
not the law.
that's fine, I'm not gonna.
You want to speak to that, Mr. Simon?
Commissioner Henderson, I have the floor and I'm speaking. Allow me to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I will
Finish.
thank you. So I'm gonna follow the guidance from the Office of ANCs, not another commissioner. If you have any questions with accessing your email, it happens to be Mr. Simon is here, and I'm sure he can help to get that
Yeah, I
squared
need
away.
you to address that, Mr. Simon, since you're here.
If you'd like me to respond, absolutely.
Commissioner, what would you like me to address?
Tell me when it became the law that commissioners may only receive documents via the ANC site that we don't have consistent access to.
think anyone said it was the law.
So then why can't I get, that's what he just said, well then why can't I get information, from this commission in the manner in which, let me finish. I get information from other agencies to the K Henderson 029, and why is it that it seems that Mr. Roberts is relying on information from you that says we can only receive this information via the ANC account, so I want you to speak to that.
What I can tell you is that the Attorney General's office has asked me to advise all commissioners that all official ANC email communication should be done via your official government email accounts. And whenever that question comes up, that's the guidance I provide.
That said should, that doesn't say that it's been codified in the law.
And I didn't say it's been codified in law. I said guidance from the Attorney General was, that's what you.
Did you provide that in writing to all the commissioners?
Excuse me?
Did you provide that in
I'm
writing to all
happy
the
to provide
commissioners?
it to you if you'd
I
like.
believe the Attorney General provided that in writing.
I have an issue with them sending it only to the ANC because I publicly stated numerous times I don't have access to that account. And if you look on here, I didn't receive this email, you know, so it's like I'm missing information, so.
I will be happy to provide you with any information you need for accessing the account. Commissioner Henderson, of course, you know I've done it before. I'll be happy to do it any number of times that may be required.
Again, it is not required by law. It may be a suggestion that the ANCs use those accounts, and certainly they'd be convenient if the commissioners had actual access to them. But in the absence of any clear, lawful issuance, administrative issuance or otherwise, there's no legitimate reason why commissioners cannot receive information at both their ANC account and the ANC of the email of their choosing. And I've not heard anything here tonight that says that there's a requirement that commissioners are only supposed to use the government issued account.
Do you need me to respond to that further? Because you said there was no legitimate reason. Of course, there is a legitimate reason that the Attorney General has spelled out, and that is for purposes of public transparency.
Where is it written in the law? It's not law. It's not codified in the law.
I have
It's
told
simply
you-
a suggestion.
I have told you, I'll be happy to tell you again. I didn't say it was codified in the law, and I'm not saying it
Well, I'm
now.
putting it on record that in addition to any information that needs to go to the ANC account, that's fine. And when I'm able to get access to it, I'll look at it there. But for the purposes of me representing my constituents vigorously and responding to every piece of information that affects the well-being of my citizens, I want information sent to khenderson029@aol.com.
And the answer is that all government is advised by the Attorney General to provide official information to official government email accounts.
Again, it's not the law.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and move on because we're way over time on that item. The next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Commissioner Shropshire.
So I have a report on our, treasury. We have $73,543.84. There have been no transactions in our account. And then the second part of my report, I just wanted to go over, a standing rule that we adopted and approved and voted on in our last meeting for the reimbursement policy, and we also have a reimbursement policy, a reimbursement form. So, and I'm just gonna read it so that we're all clear on what the language says. Standing Rule 5B,
No, I'd like a copy.
it's in your packet. Actually, it's not in the packet, but
No, it isn't.
I will get you a copy, everyone a copy.
It's also on our website.
It's also, on the website, that's happening.
Not everyone has website access.
Yeah, we do, right? So, we can get access. Commissioner.
So,
Smart people.
Residents don't.
for standing rule 5D2 reimbursement policies, commissioners can be reimbursed for expenditures only when such expenditure relates to official ANC reimbursements shall only be authorized for expenditures deemed permissible by the DC Code and the written guidance of the Office of the DC Auditor, Office of the Attorney General, or Office of the Advisory Neighborhood Commissioners. Reimbursements not meeting the criteria stated herein shall not be considered by the Commission. Line 8, no expenditure of any amount may be made without authorization by the Commission. Each expenditure must be specifically approved by the Commission in a public meeting at which a quorum of Commissioners is present. Such approval shall be recorded in the minutes of that meeting. Appropriate expenses may be reimbursed upon authorization by the Commission as specified in these bylaws. Commissioners who receive reimbursement of expenses with ANC funds by check shall not sign checks made payable to them. Officers who are authorized signatories are not involved in such reimbursements shall sign such checks. Line 16, reimbursements for printing and or copying shall be accompanied by one copy of each piece of literature or flyer that was reproduced. Commissioners shall be only reimbursed for print and copy expenses for events, meetings, and or topics of direct impact to their single-member district, unless the event or meeting is officially sponsored by the Commission or otherwise authorized by the Commission. Line 22, commissioners seeking reimbursement for permitted expenses shall submit to the chairperson and treasurer a completed ANC 5B reimbursement form and supporting receipt or invoice no less than 7 days prior to the public meeting at which the approval is to be voted upon. Following approval of the expenditure at a public meeting, the treasurer and or chairperson shall issue payment within 30 days. Adopted on June 29, 2016 by vote of 5-0-0. I'll make sure that everyone gets a copy before we leave. And then there's a reimbursement form, along with expense categories that you can complete, and that's what you will submit with your documents.
20 seconds left. Any questions from the commission?
I have a question, but it's not treasury, related.
Is it related to the treasurer's report?
No.
Okay, then that's not the time. Any questions related to the treasurer's report?
Yeah, I have a question. The commission already had an approved process in place for reimbursement, for legitimate lawful expenditures. The treasurer has been the treasurer since January 15th, yet here we are in August of 2016, and she's just now getting around to making up her own form. The manner in which this commission has functioned since January, since the new officers have taken place, is really it provides cause for concern. It really does. And I would urge the members of the public that are here to take a close look at the minutes. Most of the minutes that have been posted to this website, the majority of ANC 5B citizens don't even have access to. The minutes are not accurate, and this commission continues to operate in a manner in which they want to. They're renegade. They do whatever they want to do simply because they have the votes.
Can you go to your question?
Oh, I'm done. I've made my points.
Super, thank you so much. Commissioner Lee?
I have a question for the treasurer. Since the last 2 years since we've been in office, had there been any problems with spending money or money that wasn't properly spent or approved that you are aware of?
No,
No,
our,
because I
our
had the
accounts, I
auditor
think I'm the
freeze the
treasurer,
account.
our accounts were frozen.
That's right.
For the fact that there was a risk posed because someone was going around trying to take money out of it. So, we got our account frozen and we had not been able to utilize our fundings for that entire period of time. Since we've established like bylaws, and we also made sure that we have everything in accordance with the DC Auditor's Office. We did not have any reimbursement policies written, nor did there was a form that was existing, but it wasn't in compliance with what we already wrote, so this is a revised form, and it has elements, a couple of the elements that were from the simple form that we had before, but these two combined are the new policy that we decided to vote on.
And said has our allotment have been reduced since January 2015?
No, it's totally increased.
Okay.
The allotment
Thank
is
you.
the
With that,
same.
we're gonna move on to the next item.
And for the
on
let the record reflect that I requested in writing that the DC auditor freeze this commission's account. I stand by that decision, and it has protected public funds.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. Next, we're gonna move to adoption of the meeting minutes, Commissioner Bunce.
I sent out a draft copy of the minutes to each commissioner.
And I didn't receive them.
And,
Cause you never send them,
Wow,
that's
that's
it.
a nice and
Excuse me,
smart.
excuse me, let's stop.
You need to
We're
have
gonna
order
have,
in here.
we're gonna have
What do you
one.
do? There is no order. You can't even
Commissioner
send the
Henderson.
commission meetings.
No.
Me, you are out of order. And send the commission meetings to all the commissioners. You've been out of order. You've been out of order. You're out of order. You're not professional.
so I sent